What's up Nakamas? Welcome back to the channel, and for today we're gonna be going back to Enel. So Enel has some pretty cool additions with the latest EB02. So let's discuss these additions and let's see this deck in action to see if this is enough to put Enel back into the meta. So of course the biggest addition for Enel is the 10 cost Enel, which is an 11,000 attacker, and if your leader has the Sky Island type, this gains Rush, and since our leader Enel is Sky Island, then our 10 cost Enel will have Rush. And this has the ability that when it attacks, you may trash one card from your hand. Then if your life is 1 or less, then we get to place one card from the top of our deck into our life. Then this will get plus 1000 for this turn. So I believe this is pretty strong because one of our worst matchups actually is the Teach matchup, which kinds of gets rid of all our on-play effects, which we are running a lot in this deck. The second addition is the 5 cost Sanji, which is a blocker, has a 1k counter, and has 6000 power. And on play, if we have 2 or less life, we get to draw 2 cards and trash 1 card from our hand. So let's play this deck in the 10.5 meta with the latest set EB02. Okay, for our first game, we are against Purple Luffy. So for this matchup, since they are taking their life for additional dawns for ramping, we can get pretty aggressive for this. So we take this, and I forgot that they are running Law, so we discarded at random 2 cards from our hand. And against this matchup, we can get aggressive on this matchup because they are they're taking their life anyways, so that's why we are attacking for 9k in this turn. So our opponent here dropped a Sanji, and we took that, and now we are down to 2 life, and then we can just defend that because we do have a Nami to get rid of the sound of the Sanji here. So we just got rid of that because that's card advantage for our opponent and would be very strong in the long run. So we have a top heavy hand here, so we are pretty much set for our late game. So the challenge for us here is to survive until we get to 10 dawn. The 8k attack here from our opponent, we're gonna take that. And they drop another blocker. So we have 8 dawn here. We just want to get rid of cards from our opponent's hand by attacking here, and then leader attack with the Law, and they save that again. So we're just gonna bluff here into putting Nami into our life, although as you can see, we don't have any trigger cards, which is kind of rare depending on what they will do here. So they took another life, and they are, I believe they are in 10 dawn now. So we drew that Nami, but our bluff is open now since we didn't get to trigger that. So let's leader effect here. Let's drop the Yamato. We're not able to like kill anything anyway here. And then we can just flampe. And at this point, I opted to discard Shirahoshi, although that might be a little painful because we did get that Sanji. So with the hopes of getting a trigger card, but we didn't get a trigger card, which is I think very rare but it is what it is for this game. So we just try to control the board here and survive. Although we did draw 2 flampes, but at least those are 2K counters. So Sanji here, tapping our Sanji. Pretty good card. So at this point, we just discarded our Nami because we're gonna be dropping our top ends anyway. So pretty good draw there. We drew an ace. So at this point, I just discarded the Enel. The ace would become very handy late game. So our goal here is to try to control the board and reduce their hand. So we're attacking the law first and then get rid of the law. But they did manage to save that Singam Giant, so just opted to go with Enel here to try to control the board more. And we did have 1 blocker and we are now up to 2 life. So we're in a pretty good situation here. We have another hasty attacker with ace in our hand. And we have 1 blocker. So even if they drop another Sanji here, we are in a pretty good situation. So Enel, really loving the addition of Enel so far in this deck. So they're trying to get rid of our Enel here. Of course, we're gonna block that. So they did have 1 blocker, but we attacked here. So we just took that. So just going to go for life because I believe we can win on this turn, but they were able to save that. Like here, they are able to save that. So they survived on this turn, but they used a lot of resources. So I just opted to Enel and try to control their board some more. So that way we're gonna be able to win on the next turn. So they're just trying to look for answers here. Probably looking for a blocker. But that Sanji will not save them. So we have 3 attackers and they're just down 2 cards in their hand here. So yeah, we're gonna win next turn. So let's just take that. So that's it for the gameplay. Personally, I like playing with Enel because of the control game style, and I would still like to experiment with the deck list and how I deal with meta decks like the green purple Luffy, which is very rampant in our meta game here in Japan, and also dealing with each. So yeah, if you're still watching up to this point, then you're not just a nakama, but a super nakama. And thank you very much for the continued support. If you're not yet subscribed, please support the channel by subscribing. It's the best way to support the channel. That's it for this video. Have a wonderful day everyone, and see you in the next video.